KPBS On Demand is supported by Paint Care, offering households and businesses in California more than 800 leftover paint drop-off sites for recycling. Quantities of 100-plus gallons of paint may qualify for a large volume pickup. Learn more at paintcare.org.
Good morning. I'm Lawrence K. Jackson. It's Tuesday, September 30th. Complaints about a recycling company date back 6 years. Now San Diego is suing. More on that next, but first, the headlines. Time is almost up for San Diegans who have yet to select their trash service and bin size. Eligible residents have a deadline of midnight tonight to log into the city's new residential waste collection services portal. The website for that is wasteportal.sandiego.gov. The portal will allow residents to create an account unique to their property. 2 mailers containing the unique property code for owners were sent out this year. Residents who can't locate the mailer or code can send an email to trash@sandiego.gov for next steps. If no selection is made via the portal, a 95-gallon trash and recycling bin will be assigned to you. City crews will begin delivering bins starting October 6th. The Trump administration has plans to build nearly 10 miles of new border barriers along the San Diego-Mexican border. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem issued waivers to exempt the project from environmental laws. That decision is being challenged by environmentalists. Funds will come from Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The massive spending bill directed $46.5 million to border security construction. The longest stretch will run more than 7 miles between Otay Mesa and Tecate. The administration also plans to build less than a mile of secondary barrier east of the Otay Mesa port of entry. Crews will add roads, lighting, and surveillance cameras along existing barriers from the Pacific Ocean over to Jacumba Hot Springs. A decades-old California perk will soon be coming to an end, according to the California Department of Motor Vehicles. The Clean Air Vehicle Decal Program allows, or should I say allowed, solo drivers of electric vehicles to use carpool lanes. Congress chose not to extend the HOV lane exemption reauthorization act. EV drivers have a 60-day grace period starting October 1st before CHP officers begin enforcing and ticketing the change. The program was popular among EV owners for saving on commute time and promoting environmentally friendly transportation. From KPBS, you're listening to San Diego News Now. Stay with me for more of the local news you need.
Hi, I'm Dr. Rachel Jans, Associate Curator of Modern and Contemporary Art at the San Diego Museum of Art. We're presenting a landmark exhibition of Eduardo Chillida, a visionary sculptor who transformed the way we think about form, space, and material. Eduardo Chillida Convergence is the most expansive U.S. presentation of the artist's work in nearly 50 years, bringing together monumental sculptures, delicate works on paper, and a virtual reality experience of his iconic Comb of the Wind installation on the Basque coast of Spain. Eduardo Chillida Convergence is on view now through February 8th, 2026 at the San Diego Museum of Art in Balboa Park. Learn more at sdmaart.org.
Barrio Logan residents have been complaining about a recycling company in their neighborhood for at least 6 years. Environment reporter Tammy Murga says the city of San Diego is now suing the company.
Loud pounding from dismantling cars and construction work. Rumbling vibrations from trucks starting early in the morning. Diesel trucks idling throughout the day near homes. Those are some of the complaints Barrio Logan residents have had against their neighbor, SA Recycling. Julie Corrales has advocated for separating industry from homes in Barrio Logan.
It definitely affected their quality of life.
SA Recycling sits across the street from multiple single-family homes and apartments. In its lawsuit, the San Diego City Attorney's Office alleges the scrap metal recycler is violating permitting laws and creating a public nuisance.
So that's encouraging because a lot of times it felt like this was all falling on deaf ears at the city.
SA Recycling said in a statement in part, quote, "We are confident the facts will show that our operations are permitted and not a nuisance." Tammy Murga, KPBS News.
Former state Senate leader Toni Atkins has dropped out of the 2026 California governor's race. Metro reporter Andrew Bowen says the San Diego Democrat faced tough odds.
Atkins is pretty widely known in San Diego. Voters here elected her to the city council and the state assembly and senate. But she wasn't a household name across California. Despite having more than $4 million in her campaign account, polling suggested her support was in the single digits. Atkins posted to Instagram, quote, "There is simply no viable path forward to victory." Other high-profile candidates for governor include former Congresswoman Katie Porter, former LA Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, and former State Attorney General and U.S. Health Secretary Javier Becerra. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
Dust storms are a growing part of life in the Imperial Valley and eastern San Diego County. Reporter Corey Suzuki spoke to one scientist about different ways you can stay safe.
From far away, the largest storms can look like they're from another world. Towering walls of dust that can reach as high as 10,000 feet. They carry tons of tiny particles that can get into our lungs. But experts say there are several things you can do today to prepare and protect yourself.
A good mask is always going to be effective for cleaning out those particles.
William Porter is a professor with UC Dust, a research team that studies dust storms. If you have to be outside, he says wearing an N95 mask will help a lot. If you can, Porter says you should also try and stay inside as much as possible. Finally, he says people should consider making a DIY air filter.
DIY filters, just basically just the HVAC filters duct taped to a box fan, can be really effective at bringing down particulate levels indoors.
Porter says you can build your own air filter for less than $100. Corey Suzuki, KPBS News.
Despite its designation as Tree City, USA, Poway is cutting down hundreds of trees. North County reporter Alexander Wen says it's to help with wildfire evacuations.
This project was years in the making. Poway got nearly $2 million from FEMA hazardous tree removal mitigation grants to remove mostly dead or dying trees on two major evacuation routes in the city. Poway was devastated by wildfires in the past, namely the Cedar Fire in 2003 and the Witch Creek Fire in 2007.
It absolutely could be a matter of life and death.
Jenna Stein is the city's emergency preparedness program manager.
We lost homes during both of those fires, and the threat continues to this day. It's a part of where we live. The countryside is beautiful, but there is an inherent fire risk.
The main areas where the trees will be removed are Twin Peaks Road, Espala Road, and Green Valley Open Space. The city hopes to have most of the trees removed by the end of the year. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
For decades, the city of La Mesa has chipped away at plans to redevelop its city center. Reporter Elaine Alfaro says residents are ready to see progress on the ground.
La Mesa's city manager, Greg Himura, has been working on plans for a revamped city center since the turn of the century. The goal is to update the city's public safety and administrative buildings in an area known as the Civic Center.
I'm really anxious to keep this project moving as quickly as possible to, finish the build-out of the Civic Center.
The city made solid progress early on, building a new fire station, post office, interim library, and police department building. But development has slowed since 2010. The city council reviewed an estimated timeline at last week's council meeting to build a new city hall by 2029. Longtime resident John Schmitz said he's optimistic about the new plan.
That made my heart skip a beat because there's been no vision, no timeline at all to consider. And I'm not a young man anymore. I'd like to be able to see this in my lifetime.
Elaine Alfaro, KPBS News.
That is it for the podcast today. As always, you can find more San Diego news online at kpbs.org. I'm Lawrence K. Jackson. Thanks for listening and subscribing. By doing so, you're supporting public media, and I really want to thank you for that. Have a great day.
I'm Kinley Walsh-Lawler, President and CEO of Parks California. Across California, parks are places where nature and community come together. Through Arts in California Parks, artists and culture bearers are creating murals, performances, and cultural programs with local organizations that reflect community stories and deepen our connections to these landscapes. From music in neighborhood parks to murals that celebrate heritage, these projects remind us that parks are more than just open space. They're living galleries of creativity and belonging. Learn more at parkscalifornia.org/arts.